Good morning, my name is Edward Benavides, and I'm going to be presenting on the Siop lesson plan. I have an activity that goes along with it. I'm not sure exactly logistically how it would work out in the classroom, but in my mind it's really cool, and I'll explain it to you, try to show you some images as well throughout this process to try to help you visualize how this is going to work. It's a little complex, but I thought it was a really cool idea. Okay, so the TEKS that I'm going to be working with is under grade 5 TEKS, listening and speaking. Um, Essentially, it's going to be under the ELPS C3-E, C3-G. It's going to cover reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And the PLDs, I'm going to try to cover all of them. We'll see if we can go beginner, intermediate, advanced, and advanced high, if it works out. Some of the key vocabulary: planning, restrictions, communicate, and the higher order thinking skills will be developing, understanding, and predicting. Okay, so before we begin the exercise, what I would do is I would sit down with the students. We'd have kind of like trying to draw some background knowledge in, and we talk about, show some pictures or video of different resources, what they look like, natural resources, rivers, mountains, trees, forests, that kind of thing. After that, we talk about something else, a different aspect of the exercise we're going to be covering, such as communicating. So we'll talk about how some of them began speaking when they were babies. If they have younger brothers and sisters that are, growing up, infants on to toddlers, they're still developing their initial language, or maybe within their family they're trying to learn a different language. What are some of the obstacles they have? I will do a think, pair, share, have them talk about some language memories that they have, share with each other, and then we'll share with the class after that. Objective: they're going to be in groups. They're going to be speaking to one another, obviously listening, writing, and they're going to be sharing ideas. I'm going to concentrate on nonverbal communication. Verbs and nouns will play a part in this as well. So here comes a meaningful activity. Bear with me. There's going to be 3 tribes for this exercise. So you'll split the class up into 3 as evenly as possible that you can do. One tribe is going to be the water tribe. You'll gather them and put them in a certain spot in the classroom. The next tribe was going to be the rock tribe. You'll put them on one side of the classroom as well. And then the third tribe, the wood tribe, you're actually going to have them leave the classroom. And you'll address them first when you begin giving instructions. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go out and tell the rock tribe right away. The wood tribe right away, and say, hey, look, you guys are not allowed to communicate with any verbal language. You can only use gestures and body language. And instruct them that their job is going to be to offer up their resources, which is wood, to the rock tribe and the water tribe in order to trade for resources that they need. They have to do that, not speaking. Okay, that's their restriction. Give them time to work that out. You can go inside, and the actual rock tribe and the wood tribe, you can give the rock tribe and the water tribe, you can actually give them the same instructions at once, which is, you have the 5 minutes or so to write down 3 sentences, basically some type of script or some type of plan with 3 sentences on how you're going to address the other tribes and offer up your resource in order to trade for a resource that you may need. Okay, so you give them time to do that. 5 or 6 minutes, I think that's fine. Stand by. I don't know if I can pause that. Okay, so what you're going to do after that is, now comes the fun part. Here's where you're going to implement the restrictions for the other 2 tribes. And what you want to tell tribe 2, which is a rock tribe, you're going to tell them to cross out every other word. So they have their script planned out, they have it written down. Go through with a pen, mark out every other word. Thank you, got you there. Mark out every other word. Now that's their new script. They have to operate off of that. That's what they're going to use. Read it verbatim. The water tribe, you're going to instruct them to circle all the nouns and verbs in their script. Now, this is their new script. They have to work off of this script that has just nouns and verbs on it. They have to read that verbatim. That's how they're going to communicate. So after all that's done, just give them a couple minutes to do that. It shouldn't take long. You're going to be, the teacher will play the role of the master of everything. And the three tribes are going to each pick an ambassador. They're going to send that ambassador to where the teacher's at, where you're at, and then they're going to begin their exchange. So I would give them each about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how much time you have, to talk, to communicate with each other and try to get the task done. Once they're finished, once the time is up, everyone's had a chance to at least go once. Then I would gather all the class back together, have them sit in their assigned seats where they were, and then we'll talk. And essentially, this will be the wrap-up portion, is where it'll be a class discussion. We're going to ask a lot of questions. We're going to probe. We want them to really talk about what they were thinking while this was going on. If they feel they had a good plan, what they would do differently now that they knew that these restrictions are in place. How would they change the script? And also, during the course of this, you want to ask the tribes themselves, hey, with that communication that you had for that amount of time, was that enough to convince you to offer up your resources and then at the same time take the resources that they have? Was it sufficient? Did it work? Anyways, that's the exercise. I'll try to put some visuals in here to see if it'll help. I'm not really sure. It's my first time editing this kind of stuff, so we'll see how it goes. If you just see me talking, then it didn't work. I'm sorry. Otherwise, you'll see breaks in the presentation here with some pictures. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.